What's up guys, this is Clyde here. I just got through installing the 240 amp high output alternator from JS Ultimate Alts, and it was kind of tight fit on that portion there, the part where it pivots. I had a hard time getting it on there. It was an extremely tight fit, so I had to use this block of wood and a hammer to tap it in, because this part here on the new one, it was, I guess it was slightly sticking out more than this one, so I had a hard time getting it on there, so I had to use the hammer like this and pound it in, or this way and this way, to pound it in and get it over that aluminum bar on the inside. And on that one, the connectors was the connection point was different, so it wouldn't even clip on. So what I had to do was I just left the connector right here. This is the connector that plugs into the back of the alternator right there. I had left it unhooked because the connectors from this and that one is different, so there was no way that I could get this plugged into that. So what I did is just left the connector unhooked, just left it unhooked like that, and all I did was just hook up the power wire on there, put the belt back on, and that's it. All you have is one bolt right there, one bolt right here, and another bolt right there. That's the only 3 bolts that are holding the alternator on. And as you can see, that pulley right there is smaller than this one. This pulley right here, the stock alternator, is a lot bigger on this stock alternator than that one. That pulley there is a lot smaller, but it still works. Now the output that you're getting on, the power output that you're getting now, is about 14.5 volts. Earlier, when I started it up, it was 14.7 volts. So it fluctuates between 4.5 to 4.7. On the stock alternator, I would get 13.7 to 13.8 volts, but now the voltage is a lot higher with that PCM bypass that I had Jonathan Smith installing that high output alternator. And I thought that the voltage meter wouldn't work, but it does. And the battery indicator light right there is not on, so I guess it didn't affect the battery indicator light or the gauge at all. I guess it will only trigger it if there was no power output coming out of the alternator, then that would trigger that, but it's working. So you got 14.4 on that Stinger voltage meter, which plugs into the power outlet, and you got this Stinger voltmeter there, 14.3 and 14.5, or 14.7 to 14.5. so this fluctuates. Power on this one is about 2 volts less, 0.2 volts less than the power on this one. I think the reason being because it runs off of the ignition on this one, and there's a lot of different accessories wired off of that, so it got a voltage drop. But this one here, you got 14.5 volts higher voltage, because this is just for this is mainly wired directly off of a fuse to the power, and you don't have multiple accessories running off of that, so that's the reason why you got more voltage on this one versus on that one there, which is run off the ignition with multiple different accessories running off of it. So you got voltage drop on that one versus on this one. Okay, the voltage you're getting. Another look again at the 240 amp high output alternator by JS Ultimate Alts. Performing pretty good. So guys out there who have Dodge Chrysler Jeep, when you get a alternator from JS Ultimate Alts, you don't have to hook up this alternator wire right here. You don't have to hook it up to the back of the alternator. Just leave it on hook. Tuck it in there. Get it out of the way so it won't get caught on something. Tuck it out of the way. And all you need to do is hook up the power wire, and that's it. So all you'd have to do is just hook up the power wire, hold it up, put the belt on. You have to hook up the wire to the alternator in the back there. Just the power, and that's it. That's for Dodge, Chrysler, and Jeep vehicles, because connectors is different than the stock connectors, so it won't hook up anyways. Now, what I'm planning on doing is, let me turn up the volume, play some music, and see how much the voltage drops. This is on idle now. It's gonna be on idle. Okay. So I had it playing at about pretty much the highest volume that for distorts on the deck, 26 to 27. The voltage dropped from 14.5 to about 12.9 to 13 volts. This is on idle though. I didn't put my foot on the pedal and rev it up or anything, so I guess it's pretty good for idle voltage. When I had my stock alternator on idle, the voltage would drop all the way down to about 11.9 volts, and sometimes the engine would die off when I'm at a stoplight. The engine would die off because the voltage would drop so low, so I have to put it back on neutral and restart it up again. Well, I don't know, it's kind of acting up again, the engine, but I don't know what the hell is going on with the engine. But anyways, it's 14.5 volts, and this is off a 240 amp high output alternator from JS Ultimate Alts. That Stinger voltmeter on there is 0.2 volts lower than this one, like I said earlier. Hard to see, but that's the only location that I could mount it on. There's no other place to mount it on in this Jeep 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee, so I had to mount it on the bottom there, and you have to just turn your head on the bottom to take a look at it. But I got this other Stinger voltmeter, so okay, what I'm gonna do now is gonna rev it up a bit and see if the voltage stays at a higher voltage than dropping that 14 and then dropping at 12.9. so I'm gonna put it up to about volume 27 and then rev up the engine and see how the voltage is. Okay, I'm gonna start first. Okay, so what I did was I put it at about volume 27, which was the max before it distorts, and I revved it up to 2000 RPMs, and the voltage stayed steadily about 14.4 to 14.5 volts. So you get pretty good output at about 2000 RPMs. It stays the voltage stays higher, it doesn't drop low. But on idle, without pressing the gas pedal and revving it up, it pretty much drops to about 12.9 volts, 12.9 or 12.8 volts, probably around that area. And yeah, as a low end, it drops at about 12.8 to 12.9 volts, but it's a lot better than the stock alternator on idle, which about 11.9 volts, and it killed the engine, and you have to put it in neutral and rev it up again and start it back up. But there you have it, guys. JS Ultimate Alts 240 amp high output alternator for 2004 Jeep Grand Cherokee Special Edition 4.7 liter. I highly recommend it to you guys. Go check it out. You can get it for $299. Shipping is $25. With the PCM bypass is another $25, so $349. And mine's I got it shipped to Hawaii since I moved from Ohio to Hawaii. So shipping to Hawaii was the same exact thing as you would pay for any other alternator. So to me it's a good deal, guys. So yeah, there you have it. Voltage is about there, 14.5, 14.4. When it first when it was first cold, it was about 14.7. But that's good, guys. Let me go and show you guys the alternator again before I sign off. Sorry for the long video. So it's gonna be about over 13 minutes by the time it ends, but 240 amp high output alternator, chrome, a little smaller chrome pulley than the stock, and it's by JS Ultimate Alts, Jonathan Smith. All you do is hook up the power wire and leave leave this connector here disconnected from the back of the alternator. All you need is one wire, the power wire, and that's it. And this is how the stock alternator looks. Bigger pulley, and it's a Denso brand right there. But in the back, this connection is small, different connector than what you got on the JS Ultimate Alts. But okay, guys, there you have it, JS Ultimate Alts 240 high output alternator from Jonathan Smith. JS Ultimate Alts on Facebook.com. It's Clyde here, signing off.